Land Rover Discovery Sport. On June 16, 2016, in Switzerland, Land Rover Discovery Sport demonstrated its impressive towing capability by dragging 3 luxury train carriages along a railway track across the Hymasophan Bridge. The combined weight of those carriages was approximately 100 tons, or about the same as a Boeing 757 airplane. The only modification put into the small SUV was a set of stabilizing casters, a necessity because the car ran on a railway track. Powered by Jaguar Land Rover's 177 horsepower diesel engine that offered 430 Nm of torque, the Discovery undertook an effortless 10-kilometer journey while pulling a train about 58 times its own weight. In a public statement, Land Rover praised the Discovery's intelligent electronic systems, including tow assist, terrain response, tow hitch assist, and all-terrain progress control, for the feat. In other words, the vehicle handled the engine output and braking management in a semi-autonomous manner. Porsche Cayenne S. In May 2017, at the Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, an Airbus A380 glided with grace as the Porsche that dragged it out of the hangar didn't even struggle. In case you're not familiar, the A380 double-decker is the largest airplane Airbus builds and is still the world's largest passenger airliner, weighing 285 tons. The Cayenne S diesel that Porsche tasked for the stunt was powered by a bi-turbo 4.1-liter V8 that generated 385 horsepower and 850 Nm of torque. Everything was completely standard except the tow adapter. Porsche claimed that the vehicle had been driven all the way back to London after the stunt with no issues. Toyota Tundra, instead of taking the same route as competitors in the race to towing superiority, Toyota Tundra had a different idea. It did not want to pull trains or passenger airlines, but an enormous spacecraft. On October 12, 2012, an unmodified Tundra was summoned to tow a 292,000-pound space shuttle over a bridge across the 405 freeway in Los Angeles. The stunt was done without too many challenges. Perhaps the most difficult part was hooking the truck to the unpowered rig where the space shuttle sat on. Once everything was ready, the Tundra just towed it away. The Tundra in question was a bone-stock four-wheel drive truck powered by a 5.7-liter V8, generating 381 horsepower and 401 pound-feet of torque. This seemingly impossible feat turned out to be a lot more technically viable than previously thought. Tesla Model X P100D. Another successful attempt at towing a massive airplane took place on a remote taxiway at Melbourne Airport in May 2018, this time by Tesla. Specifically, the Model X P100D pulled a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner owned by Qantas Airways. With a maximum towing capacity rated at well over 5,000 pounds, this particular Model X was the electric passenger vehicle with the biggest amount of torque at the time. According to Qantas, the airplane itself was 143 tons heavy, even with minimal fuel in the tank, making it more than 57 times heavier than what the X was supposed to handle. Although the plane was not the largest ever pulled by a production car, it was enough to put the Tesla Model X P100D in the Guinness Book of World Records for performing the heaviest tow by an electric passenger vehicle. Ford F-150 Electric. In case anyone still doubted the towing supremacy of electric vehicles after Tesla's demonstration in 2018, Ford decided to prove its own might. On July 23, 2019, Ford released a video showcasing how an all-electric F-150 prototype could haul 625 tons of weight. The automaker hooked the prototype to 10 double-decker rail cars and glided forward over 1,000 feet as if it was business as usual. Chief Engineer Linda Zhang took the driver's seat, and once the first attempt was complete, she had 42 F-150 trucks loaded onto the rail cars and did it again, also effortlessly. Ford made it clear that the prototype was towing far beyond any production truck's published capacity. Nissan Patrol back in August 2013. A completely stock Nissan Patrol was put to the ultimate towing test at the Sharjah International Airport in the United Arab Emirates. With media and airport VIPs in attendance, the standard production patrol was tasked with pulling an Ilyushin IL-76 airplane weighing 170 tons over the course of 50 meters. Apart from a special hitch installed solely to function as a tow adapter, the truck had no modification at all. It used a stock 5.6-liter V8 engine that generated 560 Newton-meters of torque. The attempt was successful without drama and broke the record for the heaviest aircraft ever pulled by a production vehicle, previously attributed to the Volkswagen Touareg. Land Rover Discovery. Following in the footsteps of the sport model, the Land Rover Discovery had its turn to showcase its towing greatness in Australia in September 2017. It didn't pull an aircraft or a railway train but a semi-truck linked to 7 trailers weighing 121 tons. According to Land Rover, the maximum number of trailers allowed for such a road train in Australia was 4. The towing capacity of the diesel Discovery used in the stunt was 7,716 pounds, courtesy of its stock 3.0-liter V6 engine that generated 254 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque, slightly lower than its petrol-fueled counterpart. Despite that, the SUV managed to tow the massive road train for 10 miles, reaching a speed of 27 miles per hour. The load was heavier than what the Sport had towed in Switzerland, and the distance covered was also longer. The route was much more punishing, too, because the Discovery did it on tarmac with greater rolling resistance than on a smooth rail. Volkswagen Touareg. It was November 2006 when the Volkswagen Touareg made a name for itself in the history of the automotive industry by towing a decommissioned commercial aircraft. Now that might not sound impressive until you learn that the aircraft in question was a Boeing 747 weighing 155 tons. The Touareg itself was about 7 tons in weight, including 4.3 tons in ballast and the driver Hugh Craigoff. The only other modification put into the V10 TDI was the use of a 4.56 axle from its V8 sibling and a special tow adapter to connect the two vehicles. The engine was the exact same type mounted on the standard production car, generating 309 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. At around 1,500 revolutions per minute, the Touareg started to drag the jumbo jet in a slow yet steady pace without any drama. There wasn't even any wheel spin. After reaching a speed of 5 miles per hour, the Touareg slowed down and came to a full stop using standard brakes. Mini Cooper SE, a small car, especially one with Mini on the badge, doesn't seem like the ideal vehicle for a towing demonstration, but you'd be wrong. In May 2019, thanks to a collaboration with Lufthansa at the Frankfurt